Hello. Hi students. In previous class, we drawn the shear force and bending moment diagrams for different types of beams like cantilever beam, simply supported beam with different types of loads, that is point loads, multiple point loads, UDL, that is a uniformly distributed load, and also we drawn the shear force and bending moment diagram for the simply supported beam with uniformly varying load, which is at 0 at one end and maximum at other end. So in today's class, some more problems we have to solve. We are going to solve the problems on simply supported beam with different types of loads. So coming to the today's first problem, first sum is like this on the screen. It is a simply supported beam with a UVL, uniformly varying load path, which is maximum at the center of the beam and 0 at the supports, at two supports. Shear force SF and BM diagrams for the SSB, simply supported beam with UVL, uniformly varying load, 0 at each end, and W, that is the load intensity per unit length, per meter length at center, W per meter at center. For this type of beam, first of all, find the reaction forces RA, RB. You have to find first of all RA, RB. Then only we can draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams. Dear students, first, how to find the reactive forces at the supports, that means RA and RB. By taking the equilibrium equations, we have equilibrium equations, static equilibrium equations. By using those static equilibrium equations, we can find the reactions at the supports. So what are the different types of equilibrium equations? We have sigma fx is equal to 0, sigma fy is equal to 0, and sigma m is equal to 0 are the static equilibrium equations. First of all, by taking sigma fy. Why? Because here the loads and reaction forces are acting in y direction only, not in x direction. Clear, students? So that's why I'm taking sigma fy equal to 0. By taking the sigma fy equal to 0, all the downward forces must be equal to all the upward forces. What are the different types of upward forces? Here two reaction forces are there in upward direction, that means RA and RB. Clear, students? RA, RB are the upward forces, therefore RA plus RB is equal to, what are the downward forces? Total triangle area. Total triangle area, these are the upward forces. RA plus RB must be equal to the total triangular load. What is the triangular load? How to calculate the triangular load means the total area of the triangle is itself is the load intensity on the beam. So what is the triangle area of into breadth or height? What is the height of this triangle? The maximum load intensity is W, therefore small w into what is the length? Capital L. So what is the total load acting on the beam means WL by 2. Clear, students? WL by 2. So this total WL by 2 is acting downward direction. Therefore, RA plus RB is equal to how much? WL by 2. Clear, students? RA plus RB equal to WL by 2. This is the one of the static equilibrium equation, sigma m Fy equal to 0. By taking the next static equilibrium equation, that is what it is, sigma m equal to 0. Sigma m is equal to 0. By taking sigma m, where we have to take the bending moment equation, let us take the moment at A. Sigma ma is equal to 0. If we take the moment at point A, what is the moment? All the algebraic summation of all the moments on the right side, there is RB is there and also load is there. Total load, triangular load. So RB into moment means force into perpendicular distance. Force into perpendicular distance to what extent? The distance from the load or force to the point of movement. So here the point of movement is A. The force is taken as RB. So perpendicular distance is L. RB into L is in which direction? Either it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. The moment of RB about point A is in anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction positive. Then load is there, triangular load. Triangular load, how much? Then now only I told you that total load acting on the beam is WL by 2. That is triangle area. Area of the triangle is itself is the load. So this load is acting where? This total load, triangular load, which is concentrated at the CG of the triangle. Where the CG will be located for this triangle? Exactly at the center of the beam, because it is a symmetric triangle on both sides, symmetry diagram. So for the symmetry, the center of gravity is at the center. That means center of the gravity at like this. For example, this is the center of gravity, which is total load WL by 2 will be concentrated at the CG. So how much distance that is from the load to point of movement? L by 2, because it is centrally concentrating. Therefore, load WL by 2 into L by 2 is the distance. This is the one of the movement due to load intensity, which is acting in either left clockwise direction or right anti-clockwise direction, which is acting downwards, and the movement of this force about A is in clockwise direction. Therefore, it is taken as negative. So RB into L minus WL by 2 into L by 2 is equal to 0. We can equate to 0. So from this we can get the RB value. How much RB value? By cancelling the L value on both sides, RB is equal to 1 L is cancelled, WL by 4. WL by 4 is the value of RB. This is the WL by 4. Similarly, it is symmetric diagram. Load intensity which will be shared by the support A is equal to support B. That is RA must be equal to the RB. Both are same in this case, because symmetric diagram it is the load intensity that load is applied on the support, two supports are same. Therefore, RA is also WL by 4. Clear, students? Like this, we have to find the reaction forces first of all, RA and RB, which are WL by 4. So after finding the reaction forces, you have to take the XX section next. Next step is to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. Must be take the XX section. Just a minute. Here I have taken the XX section at a distance of X. From the right support, we are going to take the right hand side sign conventions. That's why I'm taking the XX section at a distance of X. So by finding the shear force and bending moment equations at XX, then we can find the shear force and bending moment values between C and B. The XX must be considered in between B and C portions, because after C, the load intensity is not increasing gradually. It is gradually decreasing again. Clear, students? Here load intensity, if it is increasing gradually up to A, then we can take the x-axis section between A and B. But it is increasing between the A, B and C, and then decreasing towards the point A. That's why you have to take the two x-axis sections at two different portions, that is between B and C and then between A and C portion. First of all, by taking the x-axis section at a distance of x. So what is the shear force equation here? Shear force equation means all the forces, all the algebraic summation of all the forces on the right side of the considered x-axis section. So ఇక్కడ కన్సిడర్ చేసిన x-axis section కి right hand side లో ఉన్న forces ఏంటి? What are the different forces? Here right hand side forces are RB is there in upward direction and the small triangle is also there. This is small triangular load. The small triangular load is also there, which is acting in downward direction. Okay, so how much this triangular load? Again, we have to take the area of the triangle. If we want to know that the area of the triangle, we should know the height of the triangle at x distance. At x distance, we have to know the height of this triangle. How to find this height of triangle? By taking the similar triangles. This is the one of the triangle, bigger triangle, and this is the smaller triangle. By taking the similar triangles, we can find the height of the triangle, smaller triangle. If we take the height of the triangle is as well. Okay, by taking the y divided by, this is the height of the smaller triangle is y, height of the bigger triangle is small w. Y by w is equal to length of the smaller triangle is x divided by length of the bigger triangle up to BC, up to point C. What is the length of the bigger triangle is L. Sorry, L by 2. L by 2, total L up to BC, L by 2. So L by 2. Therefore, y is equal to, it 2 goes into the numerator, then 2wx by L. This is the height of the smaller triangle I mentioned here, 2wx by L. Like that, we have to find the height of the triangle first of all. Then only we can find the area of the triangle and then load on the right side of the section. Therefore, what is the shear force at x-axis means Fx is equal to ఏం రాసుకోవచ్చు? What all the algebraic summation of all the forces acting on the right side of this section. Right side of the section is RB is there and load is there. So RB is in upward direction. Upward direction in our convention is negative. Our sign convention on the right side is negative. RB means WL by 4. So therefore minus WL by 4. Minus WL by 4 is upward direction. Plus this load is always acting in downward direction. That's why I'm taking plus. So plus, what is the load intensity? Load intensity is again triangle area of the triangle of smaller triangle up to x off into what is the height of the triangle is 2wx by L. Clear, students? Off into height into length. What is the length up to x? X itself. X is the length, smaller triangle length up to xx. That means we are taking right side of the xx section. That's why the length of the triangle is x. Therefore, Fx is equal to minus WL by 4 plus off of 2 to cancel Wx square by L. So Fx is equal to, final equation, Fx is equal to Wx square by L. It is a positive one. Wx square by L minus WL by 4. Dear students, WL by 4 is this one. So this is the equation to calculate the shear force between B and C. Between B and C, we can calculate the shear force. So if you want the shear force at B, then simply substitute the x value as 0. If you want to find the shear force at point C, then simply substitute the x value as L by 2 because B to C, the length of the beam is L by 2. So by substituting the L by 2 in place of X, then we can get the shear force at C. By substituting the 0 in place of X, then we can get the shear force at B at point B. So by substituting x is equal to 0, that means here by substituting x plus 0, fx is equal to, this parameter is 0, this term is the total 0, minus WL by 4 is the shear force at B. Therefore, FB is equal to shear force at B is equal to, whenever we writing the B in suffix, then x value is 0. So x value 0, then we can get the WL by 4 is the value. Shear force at point B, WL by 4. I return WL by 4 on the negative side of the baseline. Like this, now to find the shear force at point B. And also by substituting in place of x is equal to L by 2. If you substitute in the x place L by 2 whole square, that means L square by 4, LL cancel, L by 4, WL by 4 minus WL by 4, that is 0. That means shear force at point C is 0. At this point, shear force is 0. Clear, students? So by substituting the x values on both extreme points, then we can get the shear forces. So this 0 value at point C and WL minus WL by 4 means negative side of the baseline is WL by 4. Locate the point on the vertical line of from the B. First of all, draw the vertical lines from B, C, and A. Like this, you have to draw the vertical lines from load diagram. That is, the upper diagram is load diagram. From the load diagram, you have to draw the vertical line from different salient points. And the shear force at point B is WL by 4, which is negative side. That's why below the baseline, WL by 4. And locate the 0 value at the C on the baseline itself. So how to join these 2 points? How to join these 2 points? How to know to join these 2 points? Already we learned about the curves or lines in between 2 points whenever the load is acting between 2 points. If the no load is acting between 2 points, the shear force diagram is horizontal line. Clear, students? If UDL, that is uniformly distributed load, is acting between 2 points, then shear force is inclined line. Clear, students? Inclined line. And if the uniformly varying load acting between 2 points, then the shear force diagram is parabolic curve between those 2 points. So parabolic curve, you must draw the parabolic curve between these 2 points by joining WL by 4 and 0. Okay, clear, students? This is the parabolic curve. And also, which is symmetrical diagram about point C. That means between B and C, what are the values of shear force are same as that of the portion AC. AC also having the same shear forces on the beam. That's why what is the shear force at B? WL by 4, which is negative. But here the WL by 4 at the right hand side, left hand side support is positive WL by 4, not negative. So locate the WL by 4 on the right hand left hand support above the baseline and 0 at the center. Again join 0 and WL by 4 by the parabolic curve like this. So close it. After drawing the baseline ABC, then locate the WL by 4 on the negative side at point B and 0 at point C and positive WL by 4 at point A. Like this, you have to join all these points, then we can get the shear force diagram. So off of the beam will get the positive shear force and the remaining off of the beam get a negative shear force. That is a negative on the portion BC and positive shear force on the portion AC. Clear, students? So here shear force is 0 at center of the beam. Where the shear force is 0, there we can get the maximum bending moment. You can get the maximum bending moment where the shear force is 0. Clear, students? Like this, you have to draw the shear force and shear force diagram. Let us look the equation which are derived. Just a minute. Next, by taking the x-axis section, we can draw the bending moment diagram. Bending moment diagram. For bending moment diagram, to write the bending moment equation at x-axis section. How to write the bending moment at x-axis section? The bending moment algebraic summation of all the forces, all the moment of forces on the right side of the section. Let us do the shear force at x-axis section between B and C. Already I explained that between B and C, minus RB is in upward direction, and off into x into 2wx by L is the triangle, small triangle area. Therefore, wx squared by 4L minus WL by 4 is the parabolic, because it is in varies along with the x squared. So after substituting x is equal to 0, then we can get the shear force at B, that is minus WL by 4. Shear force at C is, by substituting x is equal to L by 2, we can get 0 value at shear force at C. So shear force at A, RA is equal to WL by 4. Shear force at A, RA, it is equal to RA value, WL by 4. So these are the shear forces at B, C, and A. By using these values, we can draw the shear force diagram, the parabolic shape. Then bending moment at x-axis section between B and C. If we consider the x-axis section again between the B and C, what is the bending moment equation? In bending moment equation, we have followed the sign conventions are anti-clockwise is positive, clockwise is negative. Because students, on the right side, anti-clockwise is positive, clockwise is negative. So what is the bending moment? RB into this perpendicular distance, RB into x, we can write RB into x. So force is RB WL by 4, which is distance from x-axis is x. So RB into x is the moment. I am writing the bending moment at x-axis, that is the mx. Mx is equal to RB into x. RB into x, we can write the moment of the reaction forces about point xx. RB into x, which is in anti-clockwise direction, positive. Next, the load is acting on the right side of the section is in downward direction, which is concentrated at the center of gravity of this triangle, smaller triangle. The smaller triangle center of gravity, which is at a distance of x by 3 from the base. X by 3. Why I am taking the x by 3? Total length of the triangle is x. X by 3 distance lo CG untundi kabatti the load into perpendicular distance. How much load it is? Off into, already I written in the shear force diagram, off into 2wx by L into x. X is the length. So this is the triangle area. The area itself is the load, which is in downward direction at a distance of x by 3. So into x by 3 then we can get the moment of the total load about xx. So to cancel wx cube by 3l, RB into x minus wx cube by 3l. Therefore, mx equation, that is bending moment at xx, is equal to RB value is WL by 4, WL x by 4 minus wx cube by 3l, wx cube by 3l. This is the bending moment equation. So the bending moment varies along the beam between the portion BC or between the portion AC, varies along the beam as x cube, based on x cube. Therefore, we can get the bending moment diagram cubic parabolic curve. Cubic parabolic curve. If it is varies with x cube, we can get a cubic parabolic curve. If it is varies with x square, then we can get the parabolic curve. If it is varies with x, then we can get the inclined straight line. If it is not x there in the equation, then it is horizontal line, like this bending moment equation at xx. Then by substituting at x is equal to 0, then we can get the bending moment at B. If we substitute the x is equal to L by 2, then we can get the bending moment at C. Clear, students? Bending moment at C, like that. If you substitute x is equal to 0 in this, This parameter is also 0. This parameter is also 0. So therefore, bending moment at x at point B is 0. So bending moment at point B is 0. If you substitute in place of x, L by 2. L by 2 means at the center, that means at point C, W L square by 8. Here I am writing W, if you substitute L by 2, W L square by 8 minus, if you substitute L by 2 here, L by 2 whole cube, that is L cube by 8. L cube and denominator low is L is there, one L cancel, W L square by 8 into 3, 24. W L square by 24. W L square by 24 if you substitute in place of x, L by 2. So 24 is the LCM, 3, 8, 4, 8, 3 is 8 3 is 24, 3 WL square minus WL square by 24. So 2 WL square by 24, then we can get the WL square by 12. WL square by 12 is the bending moment at center. This is the maximum bending moment. WL square by 12, I written here, WL square by 12. This is the maximum bending moment because the shear force is 0 at point C. Wherever the shear force is 0 or changes sign from positive to negative or negative to positive, then we can get the bending moment at that point as maximum value. This is the maximum bending moment at point C. Again, it is similar as that of the BC and the portions AC also. AC is the same as that of the BC. Therefore, the bending moment at point A is also 0. Bending moment at point A is also 0. So bending moment at the supports in simply supported beam is always 0. You have to remember that. Bending moment at the supports in simply supported beam is always 0. So bending moment at A and B also are 0, and bending moment at point center of the beam here, WL square by 12. So by drawing the baseline, draw a baseline and locate the point A, C and B on the baseline. Bending moment values at point B is 0, bending moment at point A is 0, bending moment at point C is WL square by 12, which is in positive direction, that is above baseline. Above baseline on the line C, vertical line C, locate the WL square by 12 and join these 0, WL square by 12 and 0 by cubic parabolic curve. The curvature is very high when compared to the parabolic curve. And locate the positive plus marks, center of the bending moment diagram. This is the bending moment diagram, which is cubic parabolic curve. Clear, students? Are you understanding? Here also I written that equation, same equation, WLX by 4 minus WX cube by 3L. This is cubic parabolic curve. Whenever substitute at x is equal 0 in this equation, we can get the bending moment at point B is 0. So whenever we substitute x is equal to L by 2 in this equation, we can get the WL square by 12, which is maximum bending moment, MX, maximum bending moment. Bending moment at A is 0 by taking XX between A and C. If we take the XX section similar to portion BC, we have to take the XX section between A to C, then we can get the bending moment at A is 0. Here I written that. Otherwise, simply we have to write the bending moment at A as that of the B. So B the bending moment 0, A the bending moment 0. By using these three values 0, WL square by 12, 0, we can draw the bending moment diagrams. Bending moment diagram and shear force diagram. This is the bending moment and shear force diagrams for the given beam like this. Clear, students? This is the one of the special case. If you understand this one, you can draw the shear force bending moment diagram for the simply supported beam for different types of loads. So one of the another special case problem is the UDL, which is not acting over the entire length, which is acting at partial length of the beam. Partial length means, here look at the problem. Draw the shear force SF and BM diagrams for a simply supported beam of length 9 meters. Total length of the beam is 9 meters and carrying a UDL, uniformly distributed load of 10 kilonewton per meter. Then value UDL value is 10 kilonewtons per every meter for a distance of 6 meters, which is spread over the length of 6 meters on the simply supported beam, not over the entire length. Over the entire length is 9 meters. It is spreading, or it is acting on the length of only 6 meters. 6 meters from the left end. From the left end means from the left support. 6 meters distance varike occupy chesi undi. Remaining 3 meter distance are empty, which is not subjected to any loads, BC portion. Also find the maximum bending moment in the beam. First of all, write the shear force and bending moment values at different points and draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams. Then find the maximum bending moment. We know that the maximum bending moment occurs at 0 shear force point. So first of all, if we draw the shear force diagram, then we can get the 0 shear force at particular point. There itself is the maximum bending moment will be occurs. Clear, students? Before going to the problem, before going to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram, we should find the RA and RB values. That is reaction forces. RA and RB reaction forces at the supports. How to find the reaction forces? As already told you that in the previous classes, by taking the equilibrium equations, you can get the shear force and reaction forces. So first of all, find the reaction forces. To find the reactions on the right side of the slide, to find the reactions. So what is the equilibrium equation? Sigma Fy equal to 0. By taking sigma Fy equal to 0, Fy means in y direction, all the forces acting on the upward direction must be equal to all the forces on the downward direction on the beam. So what are the upward forces? Reaction forces are there at A and B, RA and RB. This is RA and RB are the upward direction. Therefore, RA plus RB is equal to, what is the total downward load? It is UDL is there, 10 kilonewton per meter. For every meter, 10 kilonewtons. How many meters is occupying? 6 meters. So total how much load it is between A and C? 10 kilonewtons into 6 meters. Therefore, 60 kilonewtons load is acting between A and C. If UDL is there, then simply UDL value into distance occupied by the UDL, then we can get the load value. So 10 kilonewton per meter. That means 1 meter ki, oka meter ki 10 kilonewtons occupy cheste, 6 meters ki enta load avutundi. So 10 into 6 is 60 kilonewtons load between A and C, which is acting downward direction. Load is acting always in the downward direction. So RA plus RB is equal to 60. RA plus RB is equal to 60. This is the one of the equilibrium equation. Then another equilibrium equation is by taking the moment at point A. If we take the moment at point A, means all the algebraic summation of all the moments on the right side is RB is there, one of the force on the right side, and load intensity is there on the right side of the point A. So MA is equal to sigma MA equal to 0, then we can get the RA and RB values. So if we take the moment value at point A, I will write here. If we take the moment at point A, sigma MA is equal to 0 anedi oka equilibrium equation, moment equilibrium equation it is. So by taking this moment equilibrium equations, RB into what is RB is the reaction forces which is acting in upward direction into at what distance it is acting, at a distance of 9 meters from the point A. So we are taking the moment at point A, then RB into perpendicular distance which is acting in anti-clockwise direction positive, RB into 9 minus the load is there here, 10 is the per meter load and 6 meters it is occupying. Total load is 60, 10 into 6 is 60. The total 60 kilonewtons load which is acting or concentrated at the center of gravity of this UDL. Where the center of gravity for the UDL, which is at the center of the UDL. So center of the UDL means total distance is it is occupying 6 meters. Therefore, from A, how much distance it is? It is 3 meters. Clear, students? At a distance of 3 meters, the UDL is concentrated. So 60 into how much? 3. Why I'm taking minus? Because the load is acting downwards, which develop the moment about point A is in clockwise direction. Clockwise is negative. Then we can equate to 0. We can equate to 0. So RB into 9 minus 60 into 3 equal to 0. 60 into 3 is 180 by 9. It is RB value is 180 by 9. 180 by 9 is, it is equal to 0. If we take this 60 into 3, 180 on the right side, 180 by 9. So 20. RB is 20 kilonewtons load. So not it is load, it is the reaction forces due to the load. RB is the 20 kilonewtons. Total 60 kilonewtons load is there on the beam. Out of the 60 kilonewtons, reaction forces RB is 20 kilonewtons. So therefore, remaining RA is, total RA plus RB is 60. Therefore, RA is, how much RA? It is taken as 40 kilonewtons. Because RA plus RB must be equal to 60 kilonewtons. If we get the RB, then we can write the RA value as 40. So RA is 40, RB is 20. Like this, you have to find the first of all reaction forces. So RB is 20, RA is 40. After finding the reaction forces, directly we can take the XX section. If we take the XX section, if we take the XX section here in between C and B and also between the A and C. Later on we take the XX section. First of all, write in this problem we are going to write the shear force and bending moment values directly at different points. Okay. So here I am written in this problem shear force at B, shear force at C, shear force at A. Directly I am writing shear force at B. Here we have 3 points on the beam, B, C and A. Shear force at B. How much shear force at B? The force acting at point B is RB. RB which is in upward direction. Upward direction means so it is a negative. That's why RB value 20 minus 20 kilonewtons. Shear force at point B is directly written as minus 20 kilonewtons. Yes, students, this minus 20 kilonewtons which is constant between the B and C, because no load acting between B and C, therefore horizontal line, shear force is horizontal line. Up to C it is constant. Up to C it is constant. Okay, students. Then after C, beyond the C point, what is the shear force? What is the shear force? Then we can write the shear force at point C. What is the shear force at point C? It is minus 20. Up to point C, it is continuous minus 20. Then shear force at A. Shear force at A. What is the shear force at this point? How to write the shear force at point? If we take the XX section at point A point, then all the forces on the right side, RB and load 60 kilonewtons. RB value is 20, minus 20 is in upward direction and 60 is in downward direction. So plus 60, then we can get the 40 kilonewtons shear force at point A. Shear force at point A is 40 kilonewtons. It is positive. So you have to locate the shear force on the above baseline. Clear, students? So after finding the shear force values at B, C and A, then draw the baseline first of all. Locate the points A, C and B. Okay. Later on we get the D point. First of all, locate on the baseline A, C, B. We have only 3 points on the beam. Locate the A, C, B points. Then what is the shear force at point B? It is minus 20 kilonewtons. So locate the 20 kilonewtons below the baseline. Then it is horizontal line between B and C. At C point also that minus 20 kilonewtons is there. And at A point 40 kilonewtons. Locate the 40 kilonewtons above the baseline and join this minus 20 with 40 kilonewtons inclined line, because shear force, if UDL is acting between two points, then the diagram, shear force diagram is inclined line. By joining these 2 points, then we can get the zero shear force point at certain location. Okay, at certain location we get the zero shear force. At zero shear force, locate the point, another point as D. Clear, students? Wherever the shear force is 0, then locate that point as another point D. From that D point, draw the vertical line for the bending moment diagram. After getting the extra point, D, draw the vertical lines and extend the lines, vertical lines from B, C, and D also, and A. Okay, to draw the bending moment diagram. Clear, students? Wherever the shear force will be get 0, then draw the extra point and locate the extra point and draw the vertical line to draw the bending moment diagram for that point. Because at shear force 0, bending moment is maximum. Maximum bending moment will be occurs. Clear, students? Like this, you have to draw the shear force diagram. Some of the portion is negative shear force. From D to B is the negative shear force, and from A to D is the positive shear force. Like this, you have to draw the SF diagram. So next, bending moment at B. Bending moment values. How to write the bending moment values? Bending moment at B means here, what is the bending moment? 0, because there is no beam on the right side of the B, therefore shear force at point B, 0. And also the bending moment at point A. Bending moment at point A is also 0, because bending moment at supports are 0. So A, B, bending moments are 0. So how to write the bending moment at point C? What is the bending moment at point C means? Here. What is the bending moment at point C? Algebraic summation of all the moments on the right side. What are the forces acting on the right side? RB only one force, it is RB. RB into this distance. How much this distance? It is 3 meters, because total 9 meters, it is 6 meters. Therefore, it is 3 meters. So RB into 3 is the bending moment at point C. So RB, how much RB? 20. 20 kilonewtons is the reaction forces which is acting at a distance of 3 meters from the point C. It is in which direction? Anti-clockwise direction movement will be developed, therefore positive. So bending moment at point C, MC is equal to 20 into 30, it is 60 kilonewtons meter, 60 kilonewton meter. 20 kilonewtons is the units of our load is kilonewtons, and distance, perpendicular distance is meter. So units for the movement is kilonewton meter. So 20 into 3, 60 kilonewton meter is the bending moment at point C. This is 60 kilonewton meter. Clear, students? Like this, you have to find the bending moment values at different points, A, B, and C. Then bending moment at extra point, that is 0 shear force. How to find the 0 shear force? How to find that point, location of that point D, at what distance, at what extent that shear force is 0, at what how much distance the shear force is 0 from the right support planes. If we take the shear XX section, here I am taking XX section to get the 0 shear force at a distance of X. After finding the X, we can get the 0 shear force length. So write down the shear force equation at XX, then equate to that shear force equation to 0. Then we can get the X value. That X value is 5 meters I am getting. So what is the shear force? Can anybody tell the shear force equation at XX? What is the shear force? The forces acting on the right side. Total forces acting on the right side. So RB is there. RB is in upward direction negative. RB value is 20. So minus 20. Clear, students? Minus 20 plus the load is also there. Sum of the load from this point to this point, UDL is there. How much this load is 10 kilonewton per meter load. Per meter is the 20 kilonewtons. How much this distance? It is total distance is X and distance is 3 meters. So this distance is X minus 3 distance. X minus 3 meters. Therefore, X minus 3. Total load is, total load intensity is 10 kilonewton per meter into distance is X minus 3. So 10 into 10 emo 1 meter. So any meters on the X minus 3 meters only. So total load is 10 into X minus 3 is the load, which is acting downward direction. That's why I'm taking positive. So this is the shear force at XX. That means Fx is equal to minus 20 plus 10 into X minus 3. Clear, students? So if we equate to 0, Fx is equal to 0, that means 0 shear force, then we can get the X value. So 20 it is the right hand side plus 20. 20 by 10 is 2, X minus 3. X minus 3 is equal to 2. So X is equal to 5. That means X is equal to 5 meters. X is equal to, so at a distance of 5 meters from the right support, from the right end, that is point B, at a distance of 5 meters, the shear force will get 0. Clear, students? So this one at a distance of 5 meters, we have to find the bending moment. So again, we have to write the bending moment equation at xx. If we want to find the maximum bending moment at this point, we know the bending moment equation at xx. So mx. Mx, what is the bending moment at xx? Bending moment means all the moments developed on the right side. So moments means force into distance. Shear force is force only. So force RB, clear, students? RB into how much distance it is? X. RB into X. RB value is 20. 20 into X, which is developed in anti-clockwise movement positive. So RBX minus this load is how much? This load 10 into X minus 3. Just now only I am written 10 into X minus 3 is the load. The load only. What is the distance which is acting from the x-axis? ఈ x-axis నుండి ఎంత డిస్టెన్స్ లో యాక్ట్ అవుతుందంటే ఇది సెంటర్ లో యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది. సెంటర్ అంటే ఇక్కడ నుండి ఎంత డిస్టెన్స్? ఈ మొత్తం x-3 ఇక్కడ నుండి ఇక్కడ వరకు x-3/2 డిస్టెన్స్ లో యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది. సో into x-3/2. x-3/2. This is the distance. This is the load. This is a bending moment equation at xx. Bending moment equation at xx. So in place of x, how much distance, at what distance we have to find the bending moment? At 5 meter distance. What is the bending moment at a distance of 5 meters? So simply substitute the x value as 5. So RB value is 20 into 500. RB value is 20 kilonewtons, 100 minus we can get the bending moment at a D, that is the maximum bending moment. Otherwise it can write as Mmax. Okay, students, is the maximum bending moment or bending moment at extra point D. It is equal to the 100 value. If we substitute in place of x is equal to 5 meters. 5 minus 3, 2. Okay, 2 into 10, 20. 20 into, here also 5 minus 3, 2 to cancel. So 20. 100 minus 20. That is 80 kilonewton meter. 80 kilonewton meter. Kilonewton meter is the bending moment units. So 80 kilonewton meter is the maximum bending moment value. That is bending moment at point T. So up to positive from the baseline, locate the 60 kilonewtons at point C. More than that at point T, just above the 60 kilonewton meter. Locate the point, another point on the point, another point, that is 80 kilonewton meter point above the 60 kilonewton meter. So after locating these points, after locating the 0, draw the baseline A, B, C, and extra point D is also there. A, D, C, B, and locate the bending moment values. What is the bending moment values? Bending moment at B is 0. Bending moment at C is 60 kilonewtons meter on the positive side of the baseline, and the bending moment at D is also the positive side. It is 80 kilonewton meter, some more extra distance than the 60 kilonewton meter. The bending moment at A is 0 on the baseline. 0 means on the baseline, positive means above the baseline, negative means below the baseline. So here 60, 80, 0, 0. How to join these points? So how to join means based on the load. Based on the load, we can draw the lines from B to C. From B to C, there is no load acting between on the B. So if no load acting between 2 points, the bending moment diagram is straight inclined line. Shear force diagram horizontal ga unte idi inclined line ga vastundi. Shear force diagram inclined ga unte idi parabolic curve vastundi. Shear force diagram parabolic curve unte ikkada cubic parabolic curve vastundi. Simply you have to remember that. So here the shear force between B and C is horizontal. Therefore shear force bending moment between B and C is inclined line, inclined straight line. Join 60 and 0 by straight line. Then from 60 to 0, you have to draw the parabolic curve because the UDL is acting between A and C. UDL is acting between A and C because due to that UDL, you have to draw the parabolic curve between A and C. From 60, extend up to 80 parabolic curve and then parabolic curve up to 0. Like this, you have to draw the parabolic curve between A, D, C, and then straight line, inclined straight line. Close it and locate the plus marks because positive bending moment will be developing on the beam. Like this, you have to draw the bending moment diagram for the given special problem, special case it is. So UDL is not acting at entire length. At the end, the students, like this, you have to find the reaction forces first of all, simply supported for the simply supported beam. After reaction forces, write down the shear force values and bending moment values at different points. After writing, if you want to find the maximum bending moment, first of all, locate the XX section. After locating the XX section at a distance of X, find the distance of X wherever the shear force is 0. After getting the shear force 0 point, then find the maximum bending moment at that point, like as I'm explained. Clear, students? Up to now, this class is closing. I'm closing this class. In the next class, we are going to another special case problem, that is UDL acting on the on two sides of the beam. And then another, it is already explained, that is simply supported with UVL, already explained to you. This is another case of a special case problem, which is couple is acting at certain point. Along with the UDL, couple is acting at certain point. By acting couple, how to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. In the next class, I will explain that case. Okay, bye.